America is just as Babylon was. Here is just a little comparison. Prior to the financial crisis that rumbled outward from the United States and shook the global economy, no longer is the U.S. the world's leading economic power. The title now belongs to China. But why? Let us look at the Old Testament and compare it to this modern world occasion. The biblical book of Daniel is a story of kingdoms at war during one of the most crucial periods of world history. The prophet Daniel lived at a moment of great change and upheaval. He was an intelligent young Jew taken captive to Babylon during one of Nebuchadnezzar's invasions. He found himself promoted to a key role in the court of the king of Babylon, capital of the Chaldean Neo-Babylonian Empire that spread across the Middle East. Daniel spent his adult life working in the courts of power of two kingdoms, the kingdom of Babylon and later the kingdom of Persia. Yahweh gave Daniel the gift of understanding to interpret dreams and prophecies, and even the strangest of sights, the handwriting of a floating hand that appeared in the banquet room of Belshazzar, the last Chaldean king of Babylon. So we can see here that we have a man that is the heart of the Lord. On that fateful night, a hand appeared from nowhere and wrote on the wall of the king's banquet room in front of hundreds of drunken guests. When the king saw this, his face turned pale with fright. His knees knocked together in fear and his legs gave way beneath him. Daniel 5 verse 6. He cried out, "Whoever can read this writing and tell me what it means will be dressed in purple robes of royal honor and will have a gold chain placed around his neck. He will become the third highest ruler in the kingdom." Daniel 5 verse 7, third because Belshazzar was second, corregent with his father Nabonidus, who was away. None of Belshazzar's trusted counselors were able to interpret the handwriting on the wall. So eventually Daniel was brought in to interpret the meaning. Daniel had stood before this king's predecessor, Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel had actually warned the prior king, a powerful and temperamental dictator, that if he did not humble himself before the Yahweh of heaven he would become like an ignorant beast of the field, reduced to eating grass with the barest scraps of clothing on his body. This happened, and Belshazzar knew it did. But Belshazzar had not learned the lesson. Daniel told Belshazzar, "You have proudly defied the Lord of heaven and have had these cups from his temple brought before you. You and your nobles and your wives and concubines have been drinking wine from them while praising your ways of silver, gold, bronze, iron, wood, and stone, your ways that neither see nor hear nor know anything at all. But you have not honored the Yahweh who gives you the breath of life and controls your destiny." Daniel 5 verse 23, Belshazzar was not big enough for the challenging times of his day. That very night the armies of his enemies captured mighty Babylon. A new empire replaced Babylon at the top of the nations. This was foretold by Yahweh through the prophet Isaiah about 150 years earlier. Daniel was at this moment announcing to the Babylonian king that the Yahweh of heaven was in charge of history and was setting a new kingdom at the head of all the others. Now, after having heard about the background for this, let us compare it to the effects of why the U.S. has lost its position as the world's leading economic power. America supports gay marriage and legalized abortion. On top of that, America has taken prayer out of schools and has more than ever accepted Islam more than Christianity. That is not all. America has also turned to creating their own idols, and they blatantly push it in front of Yahweh, and continue to mock him with such shows as American Idol, and we all know that commandment which states that thou shalt have no other idols. Now understand that was then, and on top of all of that now America has done their own version of what Belshazzar did, with taking and proudly defiling the Lord of heaven and having had taken the sacred holy cups from his temple and defiling them. With what, you may ask? With the defiling of Yahweh's holy sign and symbol of his covenant with us, that of the rainbow. America took the holy sign and defiled it on the White House as a symbol for gay marriage on June 26, 2015. Now these are just some of the things that led to this judgment. This is why Yahweh is just in his judgments on us as we continue to defile him and desecrate his laws. We will answer for all of our deeds. This is what the world is about, and this is what you partake in if you live for the world. That is why, as Yeshua has told us, that we must die to the world. We must for now live in it but not be of it. I ask you, brothers and sisters, to pray to Yahweh through the name of Yeshua that you could repent and choose to serve Yahweh wholeheartedly and to receive his protection and guidance along with discernment. It is time right now to get right with Yeshua and to seek him wholeheartedly before it is too late. Repent now and seek him and pray to him and get yourself right with Yeshua so that you can fulfill his will and spread his true gospel to the rest of the world. Please, just as Yeshua has been telling us for centuries, that he is seeking his bride, he wants us. I ask you to always seek Yeshua. Please repent now and pray for forgiveness and observe and keep the Sabbath holy, which is from Friday sundown until Saturday sundown, and observe your ways holy feast days. And spread the true gospel of Yeshua. And learn more at followyeshuanow.com, and please also download the free ebook, The True Christian's Guideline. Remember that it is constantly being updated.